Now, for much of the time, the Zhou king still existed in the royal domain, and he had nominal suzerainty over the rest of the states. Without the Zhou king, there would be nothing but warring states left. No one was quite willing to take the Zhou king on until around 256 BC, when one state did, and saw its way to conquering the other states and creating a new unified empire. If I look at my map here, I can see Qin expanding from the west, moving east, taking over the royal Zhou domain, conquering the rest of the states, and expanding its borders. How did this happen? Qin's unification takes place in 221 BC. The story really has to go back probably to the 4th century, or the very beginning of the 3rd century BC. One of the many masters of the Warring States period is a man named Shangyang. And he travels to Qin to see the Lord of Qin. And he says to the Lord of Qin, "I see that you're an ambitious man." And the Lord says, "Yes, I am." He says, "Well," he says, "tell me, do you want to be a king like the Zhou king? Glorious, honorable, but powerless? Or do you want to be a hegemon, somebody who has the political, military power to make other states accept his will?" The Lord of Qin says, "I want to be a hegemon." Shangyang says, "Well, if you do, you have to change your policies. You have to institute laws of your making." The advisors to the king are somewhat shocked, and the Lord of Qin says, "Well, if I have to change my policies, that will create opposition." And Shangyang says, "It will create opposition, but if they lead to great accomplishment, people will accept the changes you make." The ministers, the high officials of the lords gather around and they say, "This is wrong, this is wrong. We know that from antiquity, ritual has been the way in which to govern well. Carrying out the rituals, performing the sacrifices, providing a model for the people. Your policy, these policies of laws, break with ritual." Shangyang says, "Well, they do, that's true. But tell me, should you, Lord, be making the rituals, or are you a slave to the rituals of antiquity?" And again, his ministers lean in and say, "But the models of antiquity have proven the test of time. We should follow them." Shangyang says, "They were good in their time, but today is a different time. To ignore the opportunities today is to give up and try to imitate the ancients, and it will never get you anywhere." Shangyang sets up the Lord of Qin to listen to his policies, to listen to his proposal about how he should reorganize his state, how he should, in effect, mobilize the state. He says, "What are your resources?" Basically, you have two sorts of resources. You have farmers, and they produce the wealth, and you have soldiers, and they produce power when they win battles. The third resource you have are officials to supervise the farming communities and extract wealth from the agrarian economy, and to lead the soldiers into battle to control the armies.